the plan is proceeding exactly as before. Well, not exactly. The Matrix Reloaded is a 2003 American science fiction action film written and directed by the Wachowskis. The film actually carries on 6 months after the previous film, where the machines are making their final assault against Zion. The film, although nowadays it doesn't have the best reputation when it was released, it did receive generally positive reviews. But what have I found wrong with the film? Well, let's discuss 10 things wrong with The Matrix Reloaded. Number 10. Agent hiding. So one of the biggest things from the first film was the emphasis of you need to hide or run from agents. Whereas in this film, that's sort of taking a back step. Why? Because Zion's under attack and you can ignore everything? No, they're still going to go after you, but you don't seem to be as bothered. You're quite more blasé about what you're doing. Neo's flying around. Sorry, the agents someone is going to see Neo flying, but he doesn't care. Hiding from the agents puts a lot of people at risk, and yeah, it doesn't really make much sense. Why would you stop hiding? Number 9, 36 hours. So Morpheus needs to recharge his ship, which is why he leaves the Matrix at the beginning of the film and goes back to Zion. He said it takes him 36 hours. Does he wait the whole 36 hours? No! As soon as he gets the message from the Oracle, he's gone. What? Right, we have 4 hours before we're fully charged? Or something like that, but no, he left literally straight away. Did you need the 36 hours or didn't you? Make up your mind, don't tell us one thing and do something completely different. Number 8, sound effects. Now for a film that is visually stunning, sounds beautiful, and then you go and stick in a silly sound effect. Neo throws one Smith into a bunch of other Smiths and it makes a bowling sound. I'm all for silly juvenile humour, it's my cup of tea, but in a film like this, it doesn't work. It's sort of like, what? What was that? You take away from the scene. It's quite a deadly scene. There's hundreds of Smiths trying to kill Neo, and you ruin the tension and the feel of the scene by putting in silly special effects. Doesn't work. Number 7, CGI. So one of the things that was amazing about the first film, and in some aspects in this film as well, was its special effects. The CGI was absolutely amazing. Except during the fight sequences. Seriously, some of the CGI of Neo and Smith fighting looked like a really bad video game. Hell, video games at the time were producing better graphics than that. Go and look at, bizarrely enough, Final Flight of the Osiris from the Animatrix. The CGI in that was so much better than this film. But no, it just didn't look right. It didn't gel seamlessly into the rest of the scenery. It just looked really bad and it was just awful. Now, bizarrely enough, this thing is the same with the sequel film, but I'm putting it here so I'm not going to put it in the next video as well. But yeah, the Neo CGI, the character CGI was just awful. Number 6, white bad guy. I realise the title may sound a little bit racist, but I don't mean it to be. Now, most of the bad guys all wear black, really dark clothes, so you can tell that they're the bad guys. In fact, the good guys wear dark clothes as well. But there's 3 characters that wear white. Now, there are the twins who turn into ghosts. Strange enough, it works for them because they're paired together and they're only with each other. It works. But there's another one. In the best fight in the whole damn saga, fight me if you disagree, but in Merovingian's chateau, there's a load of guys, most of them all wearing black and dark clothes, but there's one person wearing white. Why? Why was that person the odd one out? He just weird. He wasn't a ghost because Neo wouldn't have been able to hit him, but no, it was just awful. It just didn't feel right. It sort of made you stand out like you have a dunce hat on or something. Why? Dress him in black. Make him look the same as everyone else. Number 5, missing bullets. In the same scene, at the very beginning, they fire off hundreds of bullets and Neo just puts his hand up, they all stop and they all fall to the floor. Now sometimes those bullets are there for the rest of the fight sequence and sometimes they're not. It actually appears that when Neo, the camera's with the stairs behind you, the bullets are there. But when the camera angles in the opposite direction and it's facing the Merovingian, the bullets aren't there. It was like two separate studios, two separate sets, where one they put the bullets in and then another one they forgot to put the bullets in. Same again, we're going back to some flaws from the first one where you're just missing out tiny incy wincy details which nitpickers like me will find out. Number 4, Freeway Damage. Strangely enough, this is actually quite difficult for me to talk about because I'm English, we don't have freeways, we have motorways. But because the film's set in America, filmed in Australia, and it's called Freeway, we go with freeways. But the freeway, lots of damage happens. As they're going down, cars are being destroyed, bang, 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 great action sequence. Now, halfway through that sequence, they get on a bike and they go back in the opposite direction, so that in theory, they're going past all the carnage that happens. Well, no, the traffic's going through as normal. What the hell happens? Where did the Matrix clean up like that? I mean, if that was the case, could you actually show us that happening? Because that would have been awesome to watch, but it was a case of, right, yeah, we've done that, we're going in the opposite direction, let's start again from scratch. Same again, silly little things. This film takes care of the essentials, but when it comes to the nitpicky side of things, there's like, oh, nobody would notice that. I noticed. Number 3, Predecessors. When the architect is finally telling Neo about his predecessors, that he is the 5th incarnation, or 5th or 6th incarnation of the One, Neo's surprised. Now, to me, all that's telling me is, Neo, you're a bit of an idiot. You're not really that smart of an intelligent computer hacker, because the Merovingian told you not that long ago that you had some predecessors. What do you think he was talking about? He knows what's going on. He builds himself on knowing the information. So he knows exactly who you are. He knows who your predecessors are. Would you not stop to ask him, saying, what predecessors? Or even say, yes, I was told. What do you mean predecessors? But no, it's like, you put that line in and then you just ignore it. Now, I know there's been so many memes about it, but it's not really making Neo that intelligent. Number 2, can't but can. So, as they're planning their final assault so Neo can actually talk to the architect, they were told that they have to take out a power station. Now, one of the other captains say, well, Neo can do that quite easily. Oh no, but he has 5 minutes to get back to get through the door, otherwise the bomb goes off. Okay, I buy into that. It puts some limits into Neo's powers. So, that's understandable. Except, a bit later on, Trinity is the one to blow up the power station. Neo knows she's in danger. As she's falling through from the window, she gets shot, and that's when Neo leaves, and he still catches her before she hits the floor. That took a hell of a lot less than 5 minutes. In fact, that took a couple of seconds. Now, I know he went super duper and went really fast and destroyed all the cars behind him, but if he went a bit slower, he still would have done it in less than 5 minutes. But why say he can't do something when he does it later in the film? In a lot faster time than you gave him the time frame for. Number 1, appearing guns. So, in the last video I say about guns disappear magically, where in this film, guns appear magically. Final fight between Trinity and the agent. Most of that fight is hand to hand. It's really cool, really awesome. I actually really enjoy that fight. Until right at the end where she jumps through the window and all of a sudden she has a pair of Uzis on her. Where was she hiding them? Let's face it, she's wearing something that's skin tight, so if she had them hidden or you would see her. But they just sort of appear out of nowhere. Any explanations? It's not in one of John Joe's theory videos either, but if you haven't seen them, go check them out. Links in the comments in the description below. Final thoughts. Like I said in the intro, when the film came out, it was generally well received. However, as the years gone on, people have taken a bit of a turn towards this film, saying it's not that good, it dulls the whole ethos of Matrix, and the whole thing with the architect was just dull and boring and sort of ruined everything. Well, not really. If you actually sit and understand and study the film, it makes perfect sense. He is, at the end of the day, a machine. And machines know sometimes to update things, you have to do a reset. Hence why you get Windows updates all the time, because it's updating. Machine knows this, so it has to do a reset. And the best way to do the reset is the whole one thing. So it makes perfect sense. The fight sequences are so much better in this film. I actually do enjoy this film a lot. That being said, the thing that puts the downer on me is it sort of takes away from the technological, the computer side of things. This is a war of philosophy, whereas the first thing is we're captors in the Matrix. Now you're just in a full-out war, and that to me is where the film actually gets ruined. It sort of delves away from what the original film was. But that's what I think. Everything else is still good. It still has the brilliant special effects. It still has the brilliant soundtrack. I do think doing two films back to back, they have not shown as much love and care and attention to this film like they did with the first Matrix, which was done on such a smaller budget. So yeah, that's what I think. But what am I going to rank the film? It's still a good film. It's not as good as the original Matrix, but I still enjoy this film. It's still a fun, enjoyable film with some of the best action sequences in the whole trilogy. So I am actually going to give it a 7 out of 10 berries. But that's my opinion. What do you think? What's your review on the film? Let me know in the comments below. I look forward to reading them. And come back Sunday when we finally finish off the Matrix trilogy. Take care. Bye-bye.